Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening from you. Joining me today's chapter of Shulchan Aruch Siman Kuf Samach Aleph, chapter 161, Dine Chatsitzah. What constitutes a Chatsitzah? An interposition. Number 1. She must immerse her entire body and all her head one time. She must therefore be extremely careful while immersing that there be nothing on her that would interpose between the water and her body. For even the slightest particle at times is considered a chatsitzah and an interposition, and renders her immersion invalid. Not only must the water reach the external part of her body, but even the internal parts of the body, which the water does not penetrate, must nevertheless be fit for the penetration of water. For example, although it is not necessary that the water enter her mouth, nevertheless, if there is an intervening particle between her teeth, immersion is invalid, as will be explained, God willing. Every woman must know this rule. All parts of the body must be clean and fit for the water to reach them during immersion. Number 2. When mucus is outside the eye, it is a chatsitzah, an interposition, even if it is moist. Mucus inside the eye, it is not a chatsitzah if it is moist, but if it is dry and begun to turn green, it is considered a chatsitzah. Most parties maintain that this does not apply to the laws of family purity, rather to laws of purity pertaining to sacrifices, food, etc. The Shach in 198.13 says, if she cannot repeat her immersion, she may rely on this majority opinion and is permitted to her husband. Number 3. The dried blood on a womb is considered a chatsitzah, but the matter posuk said that inside the womb is not considered a chatsitzah. Discharged matter is not considered a chatsitzah when wet. The first 3 days is considered wet. Shulchan Aruch 198.9. But when dry, it is a chatsitzah. Therefore, a woman who has scabs must rub them in water until they soften. Even if it's painful to remove the crust of a wound, or if she has blisters, she must remove them or soften them in water. Number 4. The plaster on a wound is considered a chatsitzah. Some plasters are applied to last for 3 or 4 months and then fall off. During this time, they cannot be removed without tearing the skin, and even if the woman says that she's used to them and does not mind, nevertheless they are considered a chatsitzah. A woman had a wound which opened, and a gauze made of worn linen clothing was inserted into the hole or the wound underneath the bandage. Even if the bandage is removed and the gauze is not visible because it's deep inside, it is nevertheless considered a chatsitzah, teshuv ma'ahava. Number 5. Filth on the body that resulted from perspiration is considered a chatsitzah when dry. When a person's hands are soiled with mud, dough, or perspiration, and he rubs them together, kumai particles are formed, and they consider a chatsitzah. 6. Ink, milk, honey, fig juice, berry juice, carob resin, juice of the fruit of the sycamore, which is a type of fig, are considered a chatsitzah when dry, but not when a chatsitzah when moist. The juices, even when moist, are chatsitzah. Also, blood, even when moist, is a chatsitzah. No. And the footnote, only if it has begun to congeal, so that if you touch it, it sticks to you and draws out like a string. Rashi Masechet Menachos 21a. The coloring used by a woman to color their faces, hands, and hair on their heads are not considered a chatsitzah. Also, a woman whose occupation is dyeing clothes or similar work, and as a result her hands are colored, and all other women engaged in this occupation usually do not mind this, it is not considered a chatsitzah. Number 8. Concerning dirt under the nails, there are a number of factors involved. It is already the established custom to cut the nails of the hands and the feet before the ritual immersion. She must be careful to burn them afterward, for if her husband should step on them, or if another man should step on them, it is dangerous. When she immersed on Shabbos or Yom Tov, and she has forgotten to cut them beforehand, some authorities permitted to have them cut on Shabbos by a non-Jewess. If she has a swelling over the nail, and thus unable to cut it or clean it underneath, and the swelling is so large that the dirt underneath is not visible, it is not a chatsitzah. If a woman forgot to cut her nails and performed the ritual immersion and became aware of it before having marital relations with her husband, she must have another immersion. If she did not become aware of it until after having marital relations with her husband, she should consult a rav. Number 9. She should be careful to remove her earrings and rings before the ritual immersion. Number 10. She must clean her teeth before immersion because it's common that remnants of food are found between the teeth. If she immerses herself and then found something between them or adhering to them, her immersion is invalid. Some women are accustomed not to eat meat the day they go are to go to the mikveh because meat gets between the teeth more so than other foods. And it is fair that even after cleaning, some of it may remain, and this is an excellent custom. On Shabbos and Yom Tov, when we do eat meat, she must be careful to clean them very well. Every woman must be careful not to eat any food between the chafifa and the immersion. During the day of her immersion, she should not knead dough or make wax candles so that nothing will cling to her. But on Friday, if it's a custom to knead dough herself in honor of Shabbos, she should not refrain from doing so. However, she must be careful to wash her hands thoroughly afterward. Number 11. A woman who has an artificial tooth should consult a competent posek concerning how to perform the immersion. General rule that if it is a permanent tooth, it is not a chatsitzah. If it is removable, for cleaning purposes, it is a chatsitzah. That's from Even as responded 258. A woman who has a lead filing in the dental cavities, and also a woman who is ruptured and wears a ring in her womb, should consult a competent posek. Number 12. Another woman should not hold her during the immersion because the water will not penetrate to the place within her grasp. In case of emergency, the woman who must hold her should first dip her own hand in the mikveh and afterward hold her. She should not hold her tightly with a strong grip, but with a moderate grip that people usually use. Whenever possible, she should not immerse in a place where there is mud on the bottom because it might be a chatsitzah. In case of emergency, it's the custom to be lenient as the mud generally found in water is not very thick. But the mud found at the edge of the river, which clings to the feet, is considered a chatsitzah. Therefore, she must be careful when going to immerse herself in the river to wash her feet very well from the mud that stuck to her from the edge of the river. If she wants to set something in the river under her feet upon which to stand during the immersion, she should consult a competent posek. But there are many things upon which it is forbidden to stand during immersion. Number 14, she should not stand erect during immersion, because certain parts of her body are concealed by this posture, nor should she bend over so much that her hidden parts will be pressed together. But she must bend slightly until the hidden places of her lower limbs are exposed, as they are when she kneads dough, when she spreads her legs slightly in order to stand firm and knead briskly. Also, the space under her breast should appear as it appears when she nurses a baby. She does not have to separate her thighs to a great extent, nor to extend her arms from her body too much, but they should be like they are when she walks. If she bends over too much or stands up erect, her immersion is invalid. However, the Sidrei Tahara, Chachmas Adam, Aruch Shulchan, etc. are leading in this event. Therefore, if she already spent the night at home, she need not go back to repeat her immersion, because folds will have been formed in her body and the water will not penetrate there. Therefore, it is necessary to watch that the water level be higher than 3 tefachim above her navel, for in such a manner she will not be able to immerse properly. In case of emergency, when the water level is not so high, she should slowly sit herself down in the water until it reaches her neck, and then immerse herself in any way that initially the part of her body still out of the water will not form any folds. The folds that form afterwards on her body while in the water do not matter, because the water has already penetrated there. If the water level is very low, then in an emergency she may immerse herself in a prostrate position like a fish, provided that her entire body and hair are submerged in the water at the same time. Number 15. She does not need to open her mouth to let the water in, nor should she close it too tightly. If she closes it tightly, her immersion is invalid. Rather, she should close her lips together in a natural way. If she puts strands of her hair into her mouth while immersing, her immersion is invalid because the water did not reach her hair. Number 16. She should not close her eyes tightly because folds will be formed under them, nor should she open them too much because folds will form above them, but she should keep them lightly closed. Number 17. She must remove the mucus from around the nose as well as from inside, but whatever is higher up in the nose is not considered a chatsitzah. Similarly, she must remove the wax from her ears. Some authorities say that she should pass water before immersing if she needs to, but she must also check if she needs to ease herself from stool or water, so that she will not need to restrain herself and render that area impenetrable to water. If she did not do so, it does not invalidate the immersion. Number 18. She should not immerse herself with dust on her feet. If she did immerse herself and the dust that was thin, and the dust was that thin that the water washed away, the immersion is valid. Number 19. Ordinary lice and fleas do not cling to the body. Therefore, the water penetrates and not considered chatsitzah, but the kind of lice that cling to the skin and by the skin, whether it's hair, and cling tightly to the skin, must be removed by means of hot water or scraped off with the fingernail. If she is unable to remove them, they do not constitute a chatsitzah. The small lice that cling to the hair must be removed because they do constitute a chatsitzah. Number 20. If a woman has elf locks, called in Ashkenaz mokzeh, let's see the Hebrew, ma'azeh, or ma'akeren, or Polish Russian kaltanis, and it's dangerous to cut them, they do not constitute a chatsitzah. Even if there are some threads entangled in them which cannot be removed, if they are visible from the outside, they do not constitute a chatsitzah. Thank you for listening and wish you a very good day. All the best. Bye.